Are you having a 7 of Wands day today, Sharon?
Oh no, I'm having more like a 3 of Cups day.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Are you having
Yeah.
a 7 of Wands day?
Now, I often have 7 of Wands days where I just feel that every time I feel I've done something, then there's something else pops up that needs to be done. Yeah, just when I think, oh, I'll get all the washing out of the dry machine and fold it all up or whatever, and then I'm going to just sit down. At that point, I'll hear the dishwasher has just finished, so that needs emptying as well. And and I just feel that's, to me, very 7 of Wands. It's just kind of you just never seem to get to the end of it. You never ever seem to get to the end of your workload. Something else always crops up.
In my house, we don't have a dishwasher. I don't like dishwashers. I'm the dishwasher.
Okay.
So it's like I'll finish all the dishes and drain the water, and somebody will walk up with 4 more dishes.
Yes,
Like,
yes. It's just so. I mean, I just think everyone can relate to this card. I mean, you look at this card and like maybe like you're not very used to the tarot or whatever, and you think, what on earth does that mean? And it's just a really, really obvious feeling that just like that just happens all the time, of just feeling, when do I actually get like a proper break, you know? And this is why, I mean, so this sounds very kind of like what's the word, grand, but when I go on holiday, my idea of a holiday really is to go to a nice hotel where someone comes in and makes your bed every day, and it's got a restaurant there, so your food is all like cooked and all the washing up is done. And I have no interest whatsoever in a self-catering holiday, Sharon. No thanks.
yeah, we're not going camping.
No, I mean, I know like lots of people like absolutely love it, but I just feel I need an absolute break from all this continuous work that just keeps. But it's not. I don't look at the 7 of Cups and, sorry, 7 of Wands and see that as enjoyable work or work. Like, I don't mind work. I love working, but it depends what I'm actually doing, whether I love working or not. So when I do things related to all of this, I don't feel overwhelmed, or I don't feel like him. I just feel bring it on. But when
Yeah.
it's to do with kind of, just the mundane, day-to-day houseworky sort of things that just are never ending, I just feel exactly like him. That's me.
Yeah, I've had jobs like I like to work too. You all know this. I love to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
But I've had jobs, those jobs that I've had to take just to survive, to get the bills paid, that felt like this. It's like just everything coming at you. And I know some people have pointed out that those sticks aren't pointed at him, that they might just be walking by and he might be imagining that they're after them, like paranoid. I'm not seeing that. The look on his face, these people also disturbed him. He's got 2 different shoes on. He was
Yes.
unprepared. He had to get dressed in a hurry to meet that threat, or that not necessarily threat, but that project. It
That
happened
he's just going to
fast.
have to sort of deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the look on his face, they aren't just peacefully marching by. That's he's actually defending or fighting to get stuff done.
Yeah, it's like they are demands. It's kind of like, I'm demanding this, I'm demanding this of you, I'm demanding that. And some of them are kind of shouting louder at him than others.
Mm,
But I just feel it's all very demanding, and he's trying, and he's sort of succeeding in the upright here to just keep on top of it. But he could go under at any second. It
it
could all
could.
just get too much.
And he's up to the task because those 2 different shoes, he got dressed in a hurry, but he's still standing up there. It's
Yes,
just,
that's true.
it would be a whole lot nicer if sometimes things backed the heck off
Yeah.
and you could take a chance to breathe and tie your damn shoes. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also like that feeling of everything all coming at the same time. It's kind of like your phone is ringing, that there's someone banging away and knocking on the door. It's kind of like then your mobile kind of goes off. Then an urgent email pops up, and it's all happening at once.
yeah.
It really, I think the Prime Minister must feel like that
Oh, probably all
all
the
the time.
daggone time.
And how can you possibly, in the middle of all that, care about what you look like as well? It's kind of, you just haven't got time to sort of even consider like what you're wearing, have you? I mean, it's just,
And I've actually this is this is ridiculous, but I've actually gotten this card in a reading. It was years ago where I had to tell somebody to make sure they had the right shoes on her feet when she walked out the door. And she just started laughing. She was like, "Yeah, I have that problem. I forget." And and I've done it on occasion where I've walked out with two different shoes or things that don't match. And it's amazing how many people will look at it and not bother telling you.
well, some people will look at that, or like, odd socks or whatever, and be judgmental about it, and other people might find that quirky, and other people won't care. It's like,
No.
he's doing his best. You can see he's doing his best.
He is, and he does have the high ground. He does have the
Yeah.
the strategic position to win. He's just, if those sticks are just marching by, it's so that they can come up behind him and share equal footing. He needs to fight now. He needs to do it now before they get into that strategic position. So,
I look at that card though, and I don't see, like, in that moment of that card, he has got the high ground and he is coping with it, but it does look like, how sustainable is that? Do you know what I mean? Like, what happens next? Because unless he actually kind of like somehow completes all of those tasks, that he's going to go under. It looks as though, how long? I'll tell you what that looks like. When you go to like a fairground or something and a person gets on one of those rodeo bulls, and it's like, how long can he stay on it for before it kind of throws him off?
oh God,
That's
yeah.
kind of what it looks like to me.
And we don't know how many other wands are there, too. There may be more wands spread out along. So, yeah, he could go under. But,
Did you see Game of Thrones?
of course. Yeah.
Those, I don't want to give it away to anyone that hasn't seen it, but there was a certain kind of energy that just kept coming, and every time they were kind of defeated, the more just kept coming. There is something, my dogs are kind of like having a little play here, by the way. There was just something about that energy that is here in this card, if he's not careful.
Yeah. Yeah. Just everything keeps coming. I think, though, his particular position, you've heard of those mountain passes where one single man could hold off 50 other men because it's a narrow passageway, kind of like the passage between his feet. So as long as he holds his position and continues to finish everything, continues to tackle each task
Yeah.
as it comes up in position, I think he'll be fine. He's just going to be super frazzled.
What about in reverse? Is it better in
Oh,
reverse, or is that it? Has he gone under?
um, either actually, because if you
Yeah.
remember, yeah, because it could be, yeah, just, don't even bother, dude, because you're gonna go under, and it could be that one day he took off and turned around and he had 107 tasks instead of just 7, Or it
Right.
could be that he's finally got time to just breathe and tie his
Yeah,
shoe.
it literally could go one way or the other, couldn't it? This is one of those sort of in the middle kind of cards, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That yeah, there are some cards that I kind of think are lend themselves to being good or happy or positive, and some that lend themselves to being bad. And this is very ambiguous, I kind of like feel this one.
Yes.
And there again, the same when this one is reversed, it's definitely either all over for him in a good way or in a worse way.
Right. Right. I prefer it to strike me as, whew, you can breathe now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there really are times where, well, you've experienced it with me where I go, 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 and then my body forces me into one of my little comas to where I get behind and I wake up pissed as hell, 3
yeah,
days
yeah,
later.
yeah,
And you've seen it happen and you've seen how stressed out it makes me, but sometimes the body will force you to
yes.
take the break that you need.
Mm,
Um, I think in his case, he's just so overwhelmed and so inundated with tasks or fights that he's not allowing himself to rest at all. He feels he can't. So that is, I think, the main thing that would really overwhelm him or take over him. The only way he could lose is by not resting. Did that make sense?
mm, yeah, yeah. His nature is to just keep going, isn't it? That the nature of this energy. I just, for some reason, I saw it as Tinder for a minute, that he's got so many people messaging him all at once.
I really like that for that too. I just
It's like,
want a
oh my
night to
God.
sit down and read and be by myself. Y'all leave me alone.
And he
Yeah.
could be one of those guys that goes to the gym a lot, do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I mean, as well, he's quite broad, isn't he? I mean, he's not bad
Yeah.
looking, and he's quite, muscular. So
It's-
he might do quite well on Tinder, seriously.
yeah, yeah, I could see all the girlies lining up and probably quite a few men too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, no, I think he's quite interesting, but he is quite exhausting. Like that does make me feel quite exhausted because I can relate to it.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Yeah. I think
It's just one more stick could be the stick that broke the camel's back, though. It does feel like that.
it does. And how like little tiny things that could be the one that breaks you.
Mm,
It's like
yeah,
when
yeah.
that temper snaps, you know?
There is a sort of breaking point, isn't there? When you've just got so much and you're just about kind of managing, you're just about kind of handling it. You can just about cope with it, and then there's that one extra thing comes in. It's like that's it.
We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look at the expression on his face, he doesn't look angry or sad. He just he looks like he's just calmly getting on with it, in a sense. He's just doing what he does.
To me, he looks quite determined. He doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah, quite determined. And to me, the body language and the facial expression show some concern.
Now, interestingly, here on the Ghetto Tarot,
Love the ghetto.
he almost looks like he's playing a musical instrument with it. It almost looks like he's a rock star. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looking
That
at and they're all kind of like his audience. I never kind of thought that, but it could be
it
that somebody's
could
up on
be.
stage, you know.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit, yeah.
And he's got a very determined look on his face on the Ghetto Tarot.
But he is looking at the one he's holding rather than all the others coming up at him. So that makes it look like, you know, when someone's playing the guitar and they're doing their guitar solo kind of thing.
He could be at a rave. Wait a
Yeah.
minute, where are those other wands coming from? Are they coming up through the grates on the floor?
It does look like they are. It looks like they're in some room below.
Oh, wow. So that's almost like an attack out of nowhere, an unexpected
Oh my
place.
God.
I really like that deck.
Oh yeah. And I love the concept of that deck as well, you know.
She did an
So
amazing job.
yeah, absolutely brilliant.
But yeah, that looks like an attack out of nowhere, and yet he was still, again, you know, he's got the same shoes on, it looks like, but that attack coming from below, that unexpected place, he's still ready to match it, even though he's, you know, all he's got to fight with is a broom. He's fighting.
I suppose that, you know, like, I mean, I'm not touch wood, I've never been in a war zone, but you have an advantage, don't you, if you're on top.
Yes.
And you can see what's coming up at you. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. When it comes from below and you're not expecting it, though, it can really mess you up. But he met the challenge. I really like that. Now, the one I've got the Everyday Witch Tarot, 7 of
Oh
Wands.
yes.
But she's got her back. See, her strategic, she's not in a strategic place. She's got her back to that cliff. She's not on the high ground, and these are coming directly at her.
Wow.
So it's a totally different feel to the card.
Yes, yes, yes.
She doesn't even have her broom because well, she does. There it is. But it's like still tied to her belt. Her cat is defending her, but she's in a very, very bad
Oh my
place.
God, so she really is under attack.
Yeah, she's truly under attack with her back to nothing. And if she falls off that cliff, she's still got to reach down to get her broom to fly away. So she is unprepared for this attack, but she's not meeting it well. She's more in a defensive than an offensive position.
Yes.
So the art totally changes the way the card means.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Gosh, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I remember there was an advert once on television about a guy comes running out of a shop and he runs really fast down the road, and it looks like he's stolen something and he's doing a runner, but in actual fact it was when you then see the next clip, somebody else was further down the road who'd left something in the shop, so he'd run down there to chase him to give it back. So everything's perspective, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
I always remembered that. It just sort of, I don't know, and I do think it's the same with the cards. You really do have to look at everything to kind of, before you go jump into conclusions about anything.
Right, right. And
which is why it's better to do bigger spreads and see what else is around it.
What all is going on, because I'll do 3-card spreads, but I really do have issues with them because I don't get as much information. Sometimes you don't need a lot of information. It's a cut and dry question. But then there are other times where those cut and dry questions have a lot behind them that the client isn't telling you, or you don't know about, where the bigger spreads can tease that out. It's like, oh, this is going on to make this happen type of thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
I prefer a larger spread, but I will do, in a pinch, the 3-card spread.
Well, I've done a lot of smaller spread because of doing like events in the market and festivals, where people don't want to sort of sit with a tarot reader for an hour and a half. They want at parties quick things.
Right.
And I kind of feel you have to trust the universe, that the universe understands that's the situation. So you're just relying on getting the bullet points.
I love the way you said that. Yep, the bullet points. And
Yeah.
yeah, I've been surprised with the amount of information that a 3-card spread can give. But
Yes.
yeah, usually they're pretty tight and terse and just the facts, ma'am, you know. But
Yeah.
sometimes they lead to bigger spreads.
Yes. Oh yes. Wow. Anything else about the good old 7 of Wands?
Well, I hope he gets time to breathe and put
Yes.
on the same shoes, because they're all probably teasing him about his shoe while they're attacking him. So,
Marvelous. Oh, that was really fun, Sharon.
yes, I'm looking forward to doing more.
Oh, absolutely. So next time we shall take off with the 8 of Wands.
Oh, yeah. I got to find
See where that leads us.
I got a good card to share for the 8 of Wands.
Marvelous.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care. Bye for now.